Have you been to his parties before?
Have I been to his parties? No, I never went to his parties.
No?
It's just shocking and sickening and all of that. So I'm really remorseful that anybody has had to go through it all.
If a parent were to give you, or you were to give parents advice, you'd say, don't let your kid go to Hollywood.
I would say, if you really want to maintain a virtuous, loving, caring family, yeah, your best bet is to stay away from that.
Corey Feldman has never been shy about exposing the dark side of Hollywood. And when it comes to Diddy's infamous parties, he didn't just skip the invite, he flat out refused to go.
No. I've never been to any of his parties. I've never met the guy. I don't know any of those people.
Even though he never attended, he claims he knew exactly what went on behind closed doors. And now that Diddy is facing serious legal heat, Corey is doubling down.
It's disgusting, and I'm so grateful that justice is being served. And I really hope that there's a continuation of this and all of these scumbags get taken down, because children need to be protected.
With the trial unfolding, Feldman's past warnings are suddenly hitting way harder, and people are finally starting to listen. So let's get into it. Plenty of big names in Hollywood have crossed paths with music mogul P. Diddy over the years. His legendary parties were once the place to be. But now that he is behind bars awaiting his 2025 trial, the vibe has definitely shifted. Some celebs are keeping their distance while others are staying unapologetically themselves. One star who didn't need a seat at Diddy's parties to speak his mind, the Lost Boys actor Corey Feldman. When TMZ caught up with him and brought up the serious charges Diddy's facing, Corey didn't hold back. He called the allegations disgusting and made it clear he's not sugarcoating anything when it comes to this case.
It's disgusting, and I'm so grateful that justice is being served. And I really hope that there's a continuation of this and all of these scumbags get taken down, because children need to be protected.
Corey has never shied away from speaking his truth. He's been vocal for years about the abuse he says he suffered as a child actor, and he's spent much of his adult life fighting for other survivors. So when asked about the serious allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, Feldman didn't mince words. He made it clear he's never had any personal dealings with Diddy, but when it came to the accusations, especially those involving minors, Corey didn't hesitate. He pointed out the disturbing nature of the claims and said,
Have I been to his parties? No, I never went to his parties.
No? You never get invited to go to his
I
party?
think I was a little old.
he did not stop there. In an interview with Fox News, he opened up about his sympathy for the alleged victims and shared his hope justice will play out.
Trying to get some justice. I can't even say justice because obviously there hasn't been a court process yet. We're still waiting for that to happen. But I, along with so many others, I'm sure, want to see the justice.
But the real question is, why Diddy never invited him to his parties? Was he scared of Corey? Because let's be clear, when it comes to Corey, we all know he never lets things go and fights for it to the end. According to Feldman, Hollywood has a history of sacrificing those who challenge its authority or refuse to play by its rules. But what exactly has Feldman revealed, and why might it put him in danger?
They're still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Corey Feldman has had a wild ride as a child actor, and he's not shy about sharing his crazy experiences. He's called out some serious problems in the industry, saying it's a place where power and influence can really mess with people's lives. Lately, he's been taking shots at Diddy, claiming he is part of the problem and keeping the Hollywood silence going strong.
There's one person to blame in the death of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you.
Young artists have been stepping up and sharing the dark side of Hollywood lately, and some of their stories are pretty disturbing. But not all of them get the spotlight they need. Look at Corey Feldman. He's been trying to shine a light on the abuse he faced in the industry, but too often, people just brush his claims aside. Still, he didn't give up and kept pushing to share his truth.
And Marty Weiss was a guy who'd been me since I was 11 years old. He was part of the Science Fiction Awards or whatever it was called, the Saturn Awards.
For many aspiring actors, Hollywood is the ultimate dream come true. But recent revelations have shed light on the industry's darker side. Lots of celebrities have come forward with some pretty disturbing stories, revealing harsh realities that have ignited conversations and, in some cases, backlash from the public. His revelations about the he faced during his career, especially during his childhood years, extended beyond Hollywood. He also disclosed that his struggles with substance A later in life were partly a result of the trauma he endured during those difficult years.
We did it, we had fun. It was like, we were talking, we were sitting in this girl's apartment. She takes me out driving. She taught me how to drive a stick shift high on
And during one of his interviews, he said,
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be.
Nobody talks about.
It's the big secret.
His decision to speak out and potentially disclose the names of those who harmed him and Corey Haim underscores the persistent issues of mistreatment in the entertainment industry, especially concerning child actors. Feldman's revelations emphasize the urgent need for heightened awareness and protection for young performers. By bringing these issues to light, Feldman has sparked essential conversations that could catalyze significant changes in how the industry addresses and prevents mistreatment, ensuring the well-being and safety of its youngest members.
You freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff.
He has always been pretty vocal about the dark side of Hollywood, but as he got more outspoken, some people in the industry tried to shut him down. One of those people was Diddy. Diddy is in big trouble right now, facing some serious legal issues and scandal. There are rumors going around about and even secretly recording politicians, and the situation is getting worse by the day. With several legal cases against him, including a federal investigation, people close to him are starting to worry. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, spoke out during an interview on the Art of Dialogue YouTube channel. He said it's not just celebrities who should be nervous. According to Deal, Diddy used to throw wild parties at his mansions, and some of the guests included politicians, preachers, and even princes. I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook, Deal said. He had politicians in there, he had princes in there. I'm sure the feds have got tapes of all kinds of stuff. Deal also talked about the lawsuit from Cassie Ventura, who accused Diddy of abusive behavior and said he hosted disturbing freak-off parties. There are rumors that Diddy had hidden cameras recording what went on at these events. Rodney Lil Rod Jones also claimed Diddy was secretly filming the parties. If that's true, a lot of powerful people might have something to worry about.
Lana, in a 79-page lawsuit filed by a music producer who claims to have worked with and lived with Sean Combs for a period of time, alleges there were underage girls, hidden cameras, and harassment at his home.
So, what exactly are these freak-offs people keep talking about? According to several witnesses, these weren't just regular parties. They were wild, anything-goes type of gatherings. Some even say they saw explicit gay activity happening during these events, which has led to even more questions about who was involved and what really went down. That's when people started looking into Diddy's personal relationships too, especially his rumored significant other. And it doesn't stop there. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, added more to the buzz by claiming that Diddy often went to Turkish baths, a detail that some believe connects to the bigger picture of these allegations.
You know what they do in the Turkish baths?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's where a lot of gay men meet. And they all take hot baths together.
Talking about Cassie's lawsuit, it also included forcing her to have S with multiple male prostitutes while he watched and recorded. The lawsuit refers to the alleged SE incidents as freakouts, claiming that they occurred in various hotel suites, including at the Trump International Hotel in New York. Among the serious allegations is the accusation that Diddy engaged in ST involving Cassie, directing her to male prostitutes while he observed for S pleasure. The lawsuit asserts that she was instructed to cover herself with oil and engage in S activities with multiple men, sometimes in masks and costumes.
Was having sex with Jamel.
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room. Right?
You're right.
It's a freak-off section.
The lawsuit mentions that there were tens of thousands of dollars in damages to the hotel. According to Cassie's claims, she was responsible for handling all the logistics, including picking the location and hiring male S workers for these events. She alleges that Diddy even told her to use websites and escort services to find guys with large black, well, you know what I mean. The lawsuit states that Diddy pressured her to make these encounters a weekly occurrence, repeatedly telling Cassie it was our thing and our secret.
Oh, she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black.
Cassie claimed that these freak-offs frequently happened in hotel suites, including spots like the Trump International Hotel in Columbus Circle, L'Hermitage Beverly Hills, the London Hotel in Los Angeles, and intercontinental hotels all over the country. According to the lawsuit, Diddy's assistants would help set up these events, providing baby oil and lubricant. The lawsuit details that Mr. Combs always supplied Miss Ventura and the S worker with copious amounts of D before and during the FOs. It also claims that Cassie was given a cocktail of like ecstasy, GHB, ketamine, meth, and amphetamines in excessive amounts, which allowed her to disassociate during these disturbing encounters. It became a regular thing for her to get IV fluids afterward to recover from the substances she was pressured to take. Cassie alleges that Diddy would instruct her to pour large amounts of oil on herself and then direct both her and the male workers on what to do. But what's even more shocking is that some artists who were underage at that time were also present at the time of freak-offs, and examples are Usher and Diddy. They saw everything that happened during those parties. And during trial, Don Richard, once part of Danity Kane, shared in court that back in 2010, Usher witnessed Diddy landing a pretty hard punch on Cassie while they were all at a West Hollywood restaurant.
She says that she alleges there was a ton of employees of Diddy's and different celebrities, including Usher and a bunch of other people. And she alleges that in that event, Diddy and Cassie got to arguing and he hit her.
Don Richard testified in court that she witnessed a disturbing moment back in 2010 when Diddy allegedly punched Cassie in the stomach during what seemed like a private convo. She immediately leaned over and left, Richard recalled, adding that Usher, Ne-Yo, Jimmy Iovine, and Big Daddy Kane were all present at the West Hollywood restaurant. Now, Usher's name is getting dragged into the mess, too. He's been close to Diddy since he was a teenager. Some even say like a son to him. Usher reportedly spent a lot of time at Diddy's Manhattan mansion. According to Newsweek, when Usher was just 13, Diddy actually became his legal guardian. Usher has hinted before that he was exposed to a lot at a young age while living with Diddy. Back in a 2004 Rolling Stone interview, Usher even admitted that Diddy introduced him to a totally different set of ST. S specifically. Back in 1994, a teenage Usher left Atlanta and moved to New York to live with Diddy as part of what was known as the Puffy Flavor Camp. It was meant to be an intense crash course in the music industry, but it wasn't just about music. The experience was fast, wild, and eye-opening. Years later, Usher opened up about that time during an interview on The Howard Stern Show. He talked about the wild parties and the over-the-top scene he witnessed at Flavor Camp. While he didn't give too many specific details, he did hint at being introduced to the lifestyle, calling the whole experience extravagant and overwhelming. Usher also admitted that, as a young teen, he often felt unsure about how much he should be involved in it, or if he even wanted to be a part of it at all.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
When Usher signed with LaFace Records as a teenager, he quickly found a mentor in Sean Puff Daddy Combs. At just 14 years old, Usher moved from Atlanta to New York to work closely with Diddy. It wasn't just about music. Diddy brought him into his world, mixing business with late-night parties and high-profile social scenes. The goal? To give Usher a more edgy image that could stand out in the R&B world. In a 2011 interview, Usher shared that Diddy pushed for him to develop that edge early on. Even though Usher's debut album didn't blow up right away, he now sees that experience as the foundation for his long-lasting career. It taught him how to navigate the industry and adapt with the times, wisdom he later used when mentoring Justin Bieber. Behind the scenes, Diddy's influence went even further. According to LaFace Records CEO L.A. Reid, it was Diddy who convinced him not to drop Usher from the label during a rough patch. He said, "I wanted to drop him. I wanted to be out of business with him. I broke his heart. I broke his mother's heart. It was a very tough period in both our lives." He added, "Then someone said to me, don't be a fool. Don't sell your stock in Usher. He's still going to be a star. He's everything you thought he was the day you signed him." And that person was Diddy. According to an interview that P. Diddy did with Kevin Hart where he said Usher and he used to wake up in the same bed, it seems like things got pretty cozy between the mentor and mentee. Apparently, Usher moved all the way to the Big Apple to shack up with Diddy when he was just 14 years old. And let's just say that some eyebrow-raising activities were going down in Diddy's household.
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
We're not exactly sure what kind of mentoring was happening, but it's safe to say that it wasn't just about making hit records. Another video involving Usher and Diddy has been making rounds on the internet, and yeah, we'll let you experience this one first.
All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4, hey.
Despite all the rumors and speculation, Usher has stayed pretty quiet about what really happened during his time with Diddy. He hasn't laid everything out, but over the years, he's definitely dropped some telling hints about just how close their relationship was. Let's just say there was a lot of mentoring going on, and not all of it seemed strictly about music. One story that raised a few eyebrows was when Usher found out after the fact that he had been sipping champagne in a VIP club section as a child with Diddy. Yup, turns out that young kid in the club was Usher himself. It's one of those moments he's mentioned in passing, but it speaks volumes about the kind of environment he was being exposed to. While Usher hasn't come out with any bombshells about what exactly went down behind closed doors, he's hinted that some questionable stuff happened while he was staying at Diddy's place. And when he appeared on the cover of Essence magazine, he made sure to give Diddy his flowers. But those subtle nods to the past, they didn't go unnoticed. It's clear that there's more to that story than meets the eye. Something that you should know about me is that I'm a businessman before I'm anything else, Usher revealed. Look at the capabilities of Martha Stewart or Russell Simmons or Sean Puffy Combs or even 50 Cent with G-Unit. Look at what they did with their licensing. This is my opportunity to do the same. Clothing and shoes are kind of the standard nowadays, so I'm trying to figure out how I can come at it from a different angle. Watches, clothes, perfume, cologne, facial, and acne products. There are so many possibilities. And everything was going smoothly until the interviewer brought up the elephant in the room, which was Usher's time living with Diddy. That's when things got real interesting. Despite all the juicy rumors and speculation, Usher suddenly got super tight-lipped about his past with Diddy. Normally a total chatterbox, Usher was suddenly as restrained as a Hollywood starlet at a red carpet event. He said, "I want to save some S for my book one day," he said. "I'll put it this way, there was a lot of S." And that's where rumors started to swirl that Usher had an STD, and it's all because he was being extremely physical from a very young age. There have been persistent rumors circulating online. Some claim that Sean Diddy Combs may have given Usher Raymond a S-transmitted disease, STD, when he was just 15 years old. The source of these rumors is unclear, but some speculate that they may stem from Usher's admission that Diddy used to take him to wild parties when he was a young teen.
And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop.
Much evidence has implied that Diddy coerced Usher into participating in inappropriate activities or had an obsession with specific themes. There was a lawsuit by a young woman, a fan, who slept with Usher after meeting him at one of his shows. The woman won a court victory proving that Usher knowingly gave her an STD. Now, people believe that Usher is a nasty man. He has given STDs to several women, probably men also, and he has a court order against him not to spread his STD again or face jail time.
He's responded to the lawsuit from the woman who claims that they hooked up a couple of times this year and that she actually...
He gave her herpes,
yes.
She says.
Yes, that's what she said.
And for years, that's what Corey has been trying to expose, that this is what this industry does to the kids, and child starts. They are exposed and allowed to do the things that a kid should never know. Feldman has spent years calling out the hidden predators in Hollywood who targeted young actors. Corey Feldman came forward too, exposing the abuse and exploitation he and other young stars endured, shining even more light on the twisted reality hidden beneath the industry's glamorous surface.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Recently, Corey Feldman has been vocal about how Hollywood can exploit young talent, often with the complicity of their handlers. In the past few months, we've seen a wave of revelations that bring to light different aspects of the industry, including the misconduct of powerful figures and the exploitation of individuals, something a controversial film has brought into sharper focus. As more of Hollywood's darker side gets exposed, we keep hearing about more shocking stories and truths that reveal just how deep these issues run.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Corey Feldman's claims about his experiences in Hollywood haven't gotten the attention they really deserve. He started out as a child actor, rising to fame with his role in the 1985 classic The Goonies. Unfortunately, like many young stars, Corey encountered inappropriate behavior from people in the industry, and even from his own family. These experiences shed light on the darker side of Hollywood that young actors often have to deal with.
So by Goonies, I started to lose a little bit of it, and then by Stand By Me is where I like, okay, it came into my...
Were you already doing coke on Stand By Me?
No, hell no.
Corey Feldman kicked off his acting career at just 3 years old. At that age, a child can't really give informed consent or grasp what it means to step into the entertainment industry. The burden of responsibility usually falls on the parents, and it's clear that Corey's mom was aware of the financial opportunities that came with her son's career. Starting so young had a huge impact on Corey's life, leading him to confront the many challenges and darker sides of Hollywood as he grew up.
Because my mom was doing it with somebody on the set of The Lost Boys.
Okay.
This hot little Asian woman who I was sitting there one night because I was like falling asleep and I was depressed.
In 2013, Corey Feldman made a brave move by releasing a memoir where he opened up about the mistreatment he and his co-star Corey Haim faced from powerful men in Hollywood. Feldman revealed that these incidents happened when they were just 11 to 13 years old. His disclosures highlighted the predatory behavior lurking in the industry and the vulnerability of young actors, igniting important conversations about the need for better protections and accountability in Hollywood.
I was like, oh, okay, well, she makes it sound so easy and harmless, I might as well. If my mom's doing it, how bad could it be, you know?
Haim suggested Feldman knew about the A he had suffered as a child, but did nothing to stop it. This tension was captured in an episode of The Two Coreys, a reality show that aired for 2 seasons on A&E before Haim's passing. For Feldman, that means revealing the names of the men who he alleges are the 2 best friends turned surrogate brothers, as they navigated the intense spotlight of Hollywood in the late 80s and early 90s.
Nobody knows, and nobody's going to know. We all are aware of the fact that Corey Haim has had a long and detailed history.
Feldman has long spoken about the A he claims both he and Haim endured as child actors. In an interview with Rolling Stone last year, Feldman accused 2 industry men of him when he was 14 and hinted that a famous actor had R Haim, though he stopped short of naming anyone.
I've been the guy trying to make him, stand up or say a complete sentence. I've been there with him through it many, many times, and it's happened very badly and very intensely.
In the new documentary, Corey Feldman finally breaks his silence. During a scene that shocked the audience at the premiere, Feldman names Charlie Sheen as the alleged of Josh Haim, giving a detailed and disturbing account. He mentions that Crisco was reportedly used as lubricant and describes 2 trailers where the assault allegedly happened, hidden from public view. According to Feldman, the attack took place on the set of Lucas, a coming-of-age film released in 1986. In the movie, Sheen's character, Cappy, acted as a protector to Haim's character. At the time, Haim was just 13 years old. Feldman's revelations go beyond just this incident. He also talks about the abuse he faced throughout his Hollywood career, especially during his childhood. He connects those traumatic experiences to his later struggles with substance abuse, showing how deeply the pain affected his life.
We did it, we had fun. It was like, we were talking, we were sitting in this girl's apartment. She takes me out driving. She taught me how to drive a stick shift, high on.
So, what does Corey Feldman's refusal to step foot in Diddy's parties really tell us? That sometimes, knowing when not to show up says more than any headline ever could. Feldman's decades-long fight to expose Hollywood's darkest corners is only getting louder. And with this trial unfolding, his warnings might finally be impossible to ignore. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.